Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to WJOB Veterans Views. We are so excited to be coming to you live out of the Strachan Van Til Food Mart studio out of Hammond, Indiana on 104.7 FM and 1230 AM. I am your co-host, Connie Karras, along with my wonderful co-hosts, Donna Dunn. Welcome back. How are you?
Great. Good
Great.
to be here.
It's great to see you. We miss you when you're not here.
I know. I got to do that nasty work thing.
I it's off to work I go.
Right.
Yes. And Steve Bramer, sir,
Hey,
how are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good. Sound like you're a little stuffed up there.
Yeah, I woke up with a migraine this morning, so I mean.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, but other than that.
But you're
I'm doing
here.
good.
The
Yeah.
mission must go on.
Yeah.
Well,
You know how it
hoorah.
is.
You're my honorary jarhead this morning.
Oh,
Yes.
I thought you were trying to compliment me.
Yes, yes. All right. Well, we have a great show for you today. We cannot wait. We have someone joining us by Zoom who I have been trying to get on the show since last year. And we are so delighted. The founder of the Creative Arts for Vets program, Mr. Todd Burkhart. And we will get back to you, Todd, in just a second and welcome him to the show after some announcements. And I do want to update everybody on the website situation. So we are in the process right now of transitioning from the JEDTV.com website to the brand new WJOB1230.com website. The transition, we ask for your continuing patience. It's not complete yet. However, at this time, right now, you can live stream all of the shows on JEDTV.com, as well as the new WJOB1230.com website. So if anyone who wants to live stream Veterans Views this morning, you can go to both places. All you simply do is go to jedtv.com/veterans-views.html or WJOB1230.com. And right on that homepage of our new WJOB1230.com website, You'll see a whole bunch of yellow buttons. You just click Watch Live. But when that transition is complete, we will keep everybody updated. When that happens, I talked to one of the webmasters recently, a few days ago, and he said that the transition should be complete very soon within the next week. But we'll keep everybody updated, and we do apologize for the inconvenience that's caused everybody. So, without further ado, some very quick announcements, very quick here. I wanted to say that the American Legion has a USA 250 challenge. This is in honor of our country's 250th birthday. That will be July 4th, 2026. The national commander, our outgoing national commander, James Lacourcier Jr., has challenged everybody to do 250 of anything for the next year. 250 miles walking, biking, knocking on 250 doors, doing buddy checks, 250 hours of community service, anything that you love. Just do it. Grab a friend and do it. Check on each other. The more, the merrier. And all you have to do is go to legion.org to sign up right there on the homepage. Sign up for that. And again, grab a friend and do it. The more, the merrier. Connect us to each other. And also the Be the One to Save a Life virtual suicide prevention training. You can also sign up for that. It's an hour-and-a-half virtual training. Just go to legion.org, and you can sign up for the 250 challenge and the Be the One to Save a Life virtual training. It's an hour-and-a-half, all from the main page, the homepage of the Legion. And without further ado, Donna, will you please thank our wonderful Patriot partners who are bringing us into 2026?
Yeah, absolutely. So first up, we have American Legion Post 16. They meet the second Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. at Munster Town Hall, and you can reach them at 219-554-9166. Then we have the founders of this broadcast, the founding American Legion Hammond Victory Post 168. We meet the first Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. at 6849 Columbia Avenue in Hammond. Their phone number is 219-937-4264. Calumet Brewery is a longtime sponsor of this show, 6535 Osborne Avenue in Hammond at 219-845-2242. Calumet Park Cemetery and Funeral Chapel. They always support our veterans, and they have a beautiful veterans area in their park. So you can call for special veteran savings on complete burial packages, and you can reach them at 219-769-8803. DAV Chapter 17. They meet the first Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. at VFW Post 802 at 5820 Homan Avenue in Hammond. DAV Chapter 80. They meet the second Friday of every month in Cedar Lake at VFW Post 261, 13050 Washington Street and Cedar Lake, 219-386-2282. DAV Chapter 102. They meet the first Friday of every month at the Fraternal Order of Eagles in Valparaiso at 805 Elm Street. The doors open at 12 for claims. Meetings start from 6:30 to 7:30, and then claims will start again until they are done. You can reach them at 219-200-0404, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Laborers International Union of North America 41, 500 Superior Street in Munster. They can be reached at 219-924-7922. Military Order of the Purple Heart, Chapter 721. They meet the second Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. at VFW Post 802 in Hammond at 5820 Homan Avenue. Family Dental Care. Veterans receive free exams, x-rays, cleanings, as well as a 10% discount on all other services. They have 7 convenient Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana locations. They are on the east and south side of the Chicago. They're in Cal City, Crestwood, Oaklawn, Munster, and their soon-to-be 8th location in Evergreen Park. You can reach them locally here at 219-804-9329 to schedule your appointment, or you can go to their website at familydentalcare.com. Ron J. Prestimer Insurance Company for all your insurance needs, auto, home, life, health, business, and more. They are in Hammond. They are at 7207 Indianapolis Boulevard, Suite 1. And you can reach him at 219-844-0103. Kuziak Construction.
Kuziak Construction.
They are 1235 Summer Street in Hammond. 219-923-3007. And one of our newest contributors, Heroes Helping Heroes, Northwest Indiana. And you can go find them on their website at heroeshelpingheroesin.com. You can contact Rich Togars at 219-670-2501. And as always, you can call the 988 for the suicide and crisis line. And if you add a 1 to that, you can call or text. Add a 1 to that, and you will be connected to a veteran, and the help is there if you need it.
Yes, 24/7, 365, completely confidential.
Yep.
Yes, and
You don't need to be registered with the VA or the DAV to use that service.
anyone
Anyone
correct.
can use it.
Yes, do use it while we have it at our disposal. And so, without further ado, thank you, Donna, and thank you for all our contributors. We are so grateful. We have new and exciting tiers and benefits that we can't wait to announce. We'll be announcing very soon to bring us into 2026. And we couldn't have done it with all of our contributors. We will also be having new sponsorship opportunities to sponsor either the radio show or the podcast. So there's that's going to be announced very soon, and we thank you. And anyone who has any kind of interest in helping us, partnering with us going into 2026, or even partnering with us now, simply email us at veteransviewscontributor@gmail.com. Again, that's veteransviewscontributor@gmail.com, or you can call the station at 219-845-1100, and we will be opening the phone lines around 9:45 Central Time. And again, that number is
219-845
1100.
Would you like some coffee, Steve?
Man, that was bad.
I know you
sorry.
have a headache. I know you have a migraine. Again, that's 219-845.
845
All right, Dreamwork makes the team work. Okay. Without further ado, now we want to introduce our most esteemed a guest that we're honored to have here via Zoom. Mr. Todd Burkhart, Dr. Todd Burkhart, I should say, is the adjunct senior lecturer in criminology and criminal justice and the director of campus partnerships for Indiana University Center for Rural Engagement at the Indiana University Bloomington campus. And he facilitates work with faculty, staff, and students that connects resources through collaboration with the community partners to improve well-being in rural Indiana. Todd is the co-creator of the wonderful Creative Arts for Vets program, which is a CRE initiative spanning the country and assisting veterans with methodologies for improving emotional, psychological, and social well-being, which is also in conjunction with the School of Social Work there and the Interprofessional Practice Education Center. Todd, Dr. Burkhart, how are you this morning? Welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm wonderful. Thank you so much.
Good.
Please call me Todd. Connie, it's a pleasure, and I'm just absolutely thrilled to be a part of this.
Same here. Tell us how you became involved with this wonderful life-saving program.
Yeah, so I served in the Army for a long time, almost 28 years active duty.
Oh, wow. Good job.
Yeah,
Wow.
thank you.
Thank you.
You know, it was long, but I had amazing opportunities. And I always say that I think the military is an equalizer. It provides opportunities maybe for people that don't have as many options. And so I was one of those, right? And I didn't really have much going on after high school, and I decided to enlist in the Army. I was enlisted. I was a tank crewman, and then I went back to college, got my degree, and then I became an infantry officer. And I retired from the Army in 2019. And I was very fortunate. I was able to, my last active duty job, I was the director for Army ROTC here at Indiana University on the Bloomington campus. After my retirement, I was able to find a job here at IU and continue great work. I was working at the Center for Rural Engagement, doing great work, but I felt very disconnected. My transition was incredibly rough from almost 3 decades of military service to then becoming a full-time civilian. And the people I worked with were wonderful. They were incredible colleagues, but I felt like I talked a different language. Tempo was something completely different. Working in teams and deadlines were just something a lot different in the military than in the civilian sector. And I became incredibly depressed. And so I worked with an art therapist by the name of Lauren Doherty. on other projects in rural communities. And she said, hey, why don't you bring the team that you work with, 15 or so folks in the Center for Rural Engagement, over to an open studio at the Eskenazi Museum of Art here on our campus. And I'll take you through some art exercises, some prompts. It'll be fun. And I'm like, okay, sure. I haven't done art since high school. And that was only because you needed it to graduate. And I'm not artistic, but I got to tell you, pun intended, I was drawn to it. There was something about it that there was this intentionality, this mindfulness I could express through nonverbal means. And that was really powerful to me. And what I said after the fact, I talked to Lauren, the art therapist, and I said, hey, maybe if this can help me as a veteran trying to transition and find the next stage in my life and trying to deal with various different things I had to cope with in the military, that maybe we could do this for other veterans as well. And that was the beginning of CAV, Creative Arts for Vets. So we created it right around COVID periods of time. So it's been around for about, I guess, 4.5 years or something like that. And we started going around the state for free, funded through Indiana University, doing art-based wellness with veterans and those serving and military-connected populations.
Beautiful.
Wow, that's amazing. It's funny that not funny, but we're having this on the show, and I'm not artistic either. I can't even draw. I can barely draw stick people, So I started. I needed an outlet, and I started coloring, of all things. And one of the coloring books I have is nothing but cuss words, which helps a lot, And it slows down my heart rate. It helps me relax a little bit, and I just got my first paint by number, and I'm looking forward to getting started with that. So I think, for those that are doubting, anybody listening that doubts that art can help them, it helped me. And like I said, I can't draw stick people. I have no artistic, and I've never been able to draw. I've never been anybody that could doodle. I mean, I can doodle squares and circles. That's about it. But so anybody that feels that they're artistically challenged, like I am, please, if you try it. I didn't think it was for me. I really didn't. But it helps me. It helps. Like I said, it lowers my heart rate, helps with the anxiety, and when I'm really struggling, and it's a distraction sometimes, and sometimes I think we need that.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And there's a lot of evidence to show that using art, doing either art therapy proper or arts-based wellness, which we do, because I'm not a therapist. We do arts-based wellness. There's a lot of evidence to show using art can help reduce feelings associated with post-traumatic stress, military sexual trauma, moral injury, grief and loss, survivor's guilt, suicidal ideation, depression, alienation, substance use. I mean, it's just amazing the power of art. And again, you don't have to be a veteran or in the military-connected population to use art. Art is beneficial to no matter which population you're a part of. It just so happens to be just like, this team I'm talking with, I speak veteran. And so it made a lot of sense to focus on that cohort because I'm part of that cohort. And I have lived experience and a lived narrative of that. And, I have my own obstacles and challenges and invisible wounds I'm working through. And so I get it. And it just made a lot of sense to work with the veteran community because we also know veteran community has the highest rate of suicide nationally.
Absolutely.
And it's certainly not going down.
No.
And the estimates are conservative. They're underestimated because there's no way to know exactly how many. 22 is merely a symbol.
Yeah.
So, but I have to say, I am so excited about finding out about this project because I found out about it from another veteran who's in my post, James Gravogel, actually, and he said, you know what, you can send away for 10 free kits, art kits. I'm gonna show this to everybody in just a second and talk about this.
Sure.
But I was amazed. I got 10 free beautiful art kits that has not only pastel crayons and pencils, but it also has an amazing workbook. And I was reading through this. It's really a meditative workbook, and it's helping with my service trauma tremendously. And I really am very surprised that I didn't know anything about this for so long. Everybody, please go to rural.indiana.edu and navigate around there. There are so many wonderful programs involved for rural Indiana and for everybody as well over at that website. But Also, another thing I wanted to mention is, at the website is that there are types of sessions that include art and horses, and art and farm, and we here go to a place called Anamkara, which is in equine. Are you familiar with Stacy Garcelon's? Yeah,
absolutely. I work with her. I'm part of the Northwest Suicide Prevention Coalition.
Okay.
I work with Stacy, and actually, I did an event up in Anamkara a couple years ago. Beautiful, beautiful place. She's a wonderful person,
Indeed.
Social worker, therapist. Absolutely. So I'm very aware, and we did art and horses. It was just a beautiful experience. Connie, if you don't mind, can I just kind of talk about the genesis of the
Please.
CAV book?
Yes.
So I know you're going to put the website up, but I can say this too for your listeners. Again, I'm so thankful that people are interested in this. You can always, if you don't remember the website, you just Google CAV book, CAV book, and it'll be the first website that pops up. That's how many people, I guess, have clicked that link. It's the first website that pops up.
And you know what? I was going to mention that because it's too difficult to navigate going from here to here to here to here on that website. And I put CAV program, and immediately I came up to how to order them. So thank you for reminding us about that. Absolutely.
And hey, I work here and I can't remember it, right? So I just Google. I Google CAV book and boom, it's the first one. But the way the CAV book came about, right? We did art-based wellness events in person. Like I said, right after COVID, we did some virtual stuff during COVID, and then we did in person probably for about 2 years or so. And when I got time and time again, we've been in, I don't even remember, I looked at my board, 27 counties, and we've done 94 events over the last 4.5, 5 years, various different types of events. But what I always got is, hey, this was awesome. When are you coming back? And, I do other things at the university. I'm busy just like the community partners are, scheduling sometimes hard. Or, hey, somebody lives in Indy and I'm doing an event in Bloomington. They're like, hey, I'd love to come, but that's just a long drive. Or, hey, I'm in Chicago. Or, hey, my daughter has a recital, I can't make it. And there's various reasons that people were like, they couldn't make it or they wanted to. And so it got me thinking, is there somehow we can take the in-person programming and turn it into a take-home version? And I sat with a wonderful team here at Indiana University, 6 of us, over 7 months. Lauren Doherty, as I mentioned, who's the art therapist, and also she had an intern who was working on her art therapy degree, Brooke Newbaum, and then also John Kiesler, who was a social work faculty here at the university, and his intern, Irina Watkins, was working on her master's in social work, and Jenny Waters, who's part of our Center for Rural Engagement. She's our media specialist and graphic designer. She did all the graphics for the book. And so the 6 of us sat for 7 months. It was interdisciplinarily, interprofessionally designed, veteran narratives, veteran resources. It's art-based wellness, it's journaling, it's meditation, it's social work best practices, and it's also from a human rights perspective. And it's also psychoeducational. We have a lot of information in there that we feel it's important to explain. It's okay to feel certain ways based on first and secondhand trauma serving in the military. And we do spend a lot of time talking about suicide and suicidal ideation, grief and loss, survivor's guilt, moral injury, but we also talk about the power of resiliency and post-traumatic growth. So that book is about 125 pages or so, and it comes with an art kit. These are free. We mail them all over the United States. We're in all 50 states. And the art kit is oil pastels, watercolor pencils, charcoal pencils, paintbrush, pencil sharpener. And for all the Marines out there, there's no crayons.
Oh, man. I noticed that. I was going to make a joke about that, actually.
Sorry. You know where I was going. Yeah. Right? So it's hard to use art if you eat the art, right? So no crayons. So I just wanted to mention kind of the genesis or the impetus behind the book. And the book's been out for about 2.5 years. And to date, we have almost distributed 14,000.
Wow.
14,000 across the country.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing. How do you reach vets who, for those vets out there that are like, I'm not doing this, I don't need this.
Yeah.
I can do this on my own. I mean, we're stubborn, and we're independent to a certain point where we want to take care of ourselves, and it's very hard for veterans, I know, myself especially, to ask for help.
Yeah.
and to seek out that help. So how do we go about reaching those vets?
Yeah, that's a really good point and question. So I think in some ways our current society, a lot of men, especially tough men, see art as feminine.
Yeah.
And it's really a shame because I don't know what happened from the Renaissance period to now, but I mean back then all the great artists, right, were men. And I mean, I'm built like Shrek, right? I'm kind of muscular, bald, guy. And I mean, I use art, and art helps me, and it helps me cope, and it develops non-maladaptive strategies to deal with the obstacles and challenges that I'm facing or trying to work through. And what I try to do is I try to relate that to veterans, women veterans for the most part. I have to say, open arms. A lot of them about trying to use art and them embracing it, and I love that. And I think men, there is some apprehension, and I think sometimes with some of the events we did in person, trying to get some veterans are squirrely, right? Trying to get them to events that are going to focus on sort of mental health, and we're going to color. And right there, I lost a lot of men, right? And so what we try to do with our events is we always bring a plus one. Bring your spouse, bring a friend, bring an adult family member with you, because it's sort of like going to that Christmas party you're not really sure you want to go, but maybe you should go. And if you are committed to your spouse, friend, or adult, daughter, that you're going to show up. And from what we have found, we do a lot of post surveys that overwhelmingly, I would say every event we did, we probably had at least 98, 97% of everybody actually engaging in the art. And even if there was a couple that didn't, I would always try to talk to them, and just to kind of get a sense and try to build social connectedness a little bit. And I think that's powerful. I would add one more piece with the live events that we have done or the in-person. I think what's really cool about the in-person events is that, all veterans have stories and all veterans have some level of trauma. And it doesn't matter if you served 3 or 30 years, you're a man, you're a woman, you were in the Vietnam War or the Cold War, you deployed, you didn't deploy, it doesn't matter, right? We all have dealt with stuff, and you don't have to be in combat to have suffered a lot of different invisible wounds. Those things can easily happen stateside through military sexual trauma or losing a friend via suicide or training accidents, somebody get harmed or killed. And those things happen. So it's just the rigors of the profession. And I think when we do our in-person events, what's really nice that people feel everybody gets it there, right? Whether you served, are serving, or you're part of the military connected population, family members of that, veterans feel that they can be vulnerable and they can share stories, because at the end, when we do art, we always ask people if they want to talk about what they designed. They don't have to. There's plenty of people that decide they don't want to share, but there's a lot of people who want to talk. And some of that comes out to some of the things that they have witnessed or suffered or have been through, or people they have lost. And I think the benefit of that, of talking and sharing in a group that gets it and understands that your rucksack that you carry in your life, right, proverbially speaking, is maybe you took one rock out, right, at that event, and it's a little bit lighter. And so that's why I think these are incredibly important for whatever reason. Access to mental health is really hard, or maybe people don't want to get involved in the VA, or people don't know that they have the right insurance, or they're not insured, and they don't even know how to get in that system, but they feel they need to talk. And that's what some of these in-person events we try to do. Now, there are always people it's hard to get access to, as you mentioned, and so that's why we think the book is a really neat source, because as long as you have a valid mailing address, right, urban, rural, suburban, I'll get it to you. Alaska, Hawaii, Brooklyn, New York, West Palm Beach, Florida, wherever you're at, Hammond, Indiana, I'll get you a book. We've been very fortunate. And if I could, I'll wait for another question, but I want to mention some of the organizations that enabled us to facilitate such a large program.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's talk about those organizations.
Please.
Yeah,
Ahead,
so
please.
I just want to say this costs money. It costs a lot, and I think for the most part, it's about $35 a book, right? It includes the book, the art kit, postage. I have a wonderful team of college interns that do a lot of the administrative logistic work for this. And so all that is about $35 if you break it down per book or art kit, book and art supplies. And so very fortunate right from the beginning. Indiana Department of Health saw this as a need, had a very large grant through them, and they saw this as a harm reduction kit. I mean, that's just powerful in itself.
Awesome.
And they like that, and they like that I could meet veterans where they're at, whether that's urban, rural, or suburban. Because there are a lot of veterans that suffer in silence, or or in rural communities, and they don't want to be around various different organizations, and they just want to be left alone. But they're dealing with stuff, and maybe this book can help. So Indiana Department of Health has been incredible. I also have grant funding through Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs. I've also had various different nonprofit groups that work with veterans, and also the United States Department of Veterans Affairs buy CAV books, because we also do sell them for $35 a piece. And that helps bring more money back into our system so we can publish more books and print more art supplies. But also a significant amount of funding through Indiana University and the Center for Rural Engagement, also Purdue University, and also the VFW, the Veterans of Foreign Wars here in the State Department of Indiana, has been tremendous asset of raising funds for this project, and also just personal donations made along the way from various different civilian entities and people. And so just really fortunate with all the different organizations and institutes that have been a part of this and making it possible to serve veterans across the country.
I think you bring up a good point too about the book, is that for those veterans who may not feel comfortable in a group setting, some veterans don't want to be involved in a group. They're like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to hear everybody else's bull.
Yeah.
I just, and this lets them get that help in the privacy of their own home, at their own pace, and in their own time. And I think that's very important, because that's a way to reach, like I said, those veterans who don't want to go into a group setting, who don't feel comfortable in that setting. So I think that's very important.
I think you're absolutely right. And hey, what I learned in the Army, and I can only speak for my own personal self, but I learned to drink it off. I learned drinking is a way to cope, because it's manly, or it's womanly, it's warrior-like. That's problematic. And so, especially when you get out of service, and in service, mental health is seen as a weakness. So we all shy away from that for various reasons. And then you move to a rural county, and how do you cope? Well, I cope with mechanisms in which I learned. I drink, and self-medicating. That's problematic, and there's other fatal ways to deal with stuff as well that veterans do. Maybe drugs, maybe speeding, maybe reckless behavior. And what art is a non-maladaptive way, a positive way to maybe express, to cope, and to develop strategies to maybe help work through some of that trauma. And that's why, we really, it helps. And I would say this too, right? I mean, maybe it is the case that art isn't for everyone, and I get that. But fundamentally, what I think we all need, veterans and civilians alike, we need positive outlets, whether that's, you go jogging, or you meditate, or you do yoga or woodworking, you do some type of craft or some type of hobby. And that's what this is. This is a way to focus your mind, especially I've had plenty of veterans write me after the fact, and we also have an anonymous survey in the CAV book. So we get a lot of feedback from service providers and from users or veterans who use the book. I've had a lot say that it helps my mind at night. Sometimes I'm anxious, I can't sleep, I'm restless, and this helps soothe me. I mean, you can't. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal.
I think
it's not pills. It's not drugs.
I think part of the problem is, it's hard for some people to prioritize themselves.
Yes.
And then when you say, why don't you try painting some? It might help you. You're like, what? I got to work.
Yeah, right.
And then I got the kit. No, but it does, and it can help you. And I bet you some people don't even realize it. Like I got my book. I bet you have stuff in here I've drawn just from doodling.
Now, are you a doodler? You guys,
No.
I do. Oh. Yeah. I love
doodling is great.
Yeah,
and I think you have a great point. And I think the thing maybe with the CAV book, I mean, what we designed isn't anything. It's not rocket science, and people colored long before we created this book. And I was kind of surprised that there wasn't something like this out there, and I think that's why it's been really successful. It's this resource, and I have to tell you, which I did not see after we published this, the amount of service providers who are interested in this book to give to their clients, to add to their robust programming, or as a take-home, or to assign as homework to cover in either individual or group therapy after the fact. I've had so many VA and healthcare professionals who have these books. We have sent books to over 80 VA facilities across the United States, from VA medical centers or hospitals to CBOCs, community-based outpatient clinics, to vet centers that does outpatient counseling. From the east to the west coast, to Montana to Texas, and everywhere in between, 90 VA facilities, and also civilian facilities as well. Social workers, psychiatrists, psychologists, nurses, medical doctors, therapists, art therapists, rec therapists, trauma therapists, music therapists. And it's just interesting because they see this as a needed resource, and it's readily available. And for your listeners, it's a 5x8 book that's really heavy construction paper, so you can paint or you can draw on it. But everything goes in a 9x12 Ziploc bag, so it's very portable. Throw it into your car, throw it in your duffel bag, throw it under your bed, pull it out whenever you need it. And I think that's really a nice benefit of it. And the other thing I'll mention, I've heard before, get involved in art. How in the hell do you even get involved in art? I don't even know where to start. And,
Exactly.
Right. And I think that's what, was kind of just mentioned of like, okay, go paint. Well, go paint what? What do I go to Staples? What the hell do I buy? Or Michael's?
Right.
And then I sit and look at this thing.
How much money do I need to spend?
Yeah, how much money? And so what we try to do with this book is we developed this, a 5-chapter book. All the symbology, when you look at it, is very military focused, and I think it kind of feels like, in some ways, home when you, or the life that you previously lived or are currently living. So it feels safe. It feels known. But we also have art instructions on how to use the art supplies, and we provide prompts and guidance through 5 chapters. So it takes all that out where you don't have to go to Staples or Michael's and buy stuff and then sit and look at it and figure out what you want to do. No, we provide everything in one package. And then, like I said, it was a team of 6 people, interdisciplinarily through social work, human rights, and art therapy, where we sat and we designed this book to kind of take you through a series of chapters. And I think it starts chapter starts basic training. Okay, that should be familiar with everybody.
Right.
And then go to self-discovery, then life's challenges, then drive on, and then the last one, the sky's the limit. Right. So it's a journey, it's progression. One chapter is predicated on the next. It's about post-traumatic growth and resiliency. And it's a tool, right? It's not saying it's the only tool that you have in your kit bag or your tool bag, but it's a part, and I think it could be really a part of physical, social, mental wellness.
And I think that's a good point about going step by step, because if you walk, like you said, you walk into Michael's, you walk into one of those stores and you look at the art department, it's overwhelming.
Oh, it is overwhelming.
It's like, what do I get to do art? How do I do art?
Yeah.
And it's you just don't know what to do, where to start.
Yeah.
And I think this is a great way to, build your skills or build whatever you need to build to get to a certain point where you can do it on your own.
And
go
ahead. Please go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, just to kind of illuminate further on your point, because I think it's a really good one. So when I did that open studio with Lauren 5 years ago, right, and I was kind of reluctant to even do it, but I was like, okay, sure. I'm a big macho guy. I don't want to sit here and color, so I was one of those, right? And so, and then all of a sudden I was like, wow, this is amazing. This was amazing. And I think the importance, and that's why we put various different art mediums in the kit: charcoal, pencils, hard, soft, watercolor pencils you can use with or without water. So we provide a paintbrush, and oil pastels, because I think different art mediums speak to different people. And so when I was at this open studio, there were some colored pencils. Ugh, I don't really care. And there were some markers. Yuck. But it was the oil pastels that I was really drawn to. It was that ability to smudge and smear and get them on my fingers that I was like, wow, this I can feel like I can decompress using this type of art medium. And so when we send this out, getting back to all the cost of art supplies, what the hell do I even pick out at Michael's or Staples or whatever the case may be? Hey, we try to take that out of the anxiety and the costs associated with all that by providing various different things in this kit that maybe there is something in there that you like. And so I just wanted to highlight that because I think it's important because some art supplies I don't really care about. And then there was a couple that I just truly love.
And I really just want to point out now, Todd, this kit and just show everybody and talk about for those who are not live streaming.
Show the book so everybody
I'm going to
can
show
see
the book.
size.
Yeah, because this is amazing, and I want to say something. There's watercolor pencils for those who aren't. These are amazing, and I use them. Kemper, can you get a shot of all this stuff kind of up close as I'm going through this? These are watercolor pencils, as Todd had said. You don't. All you do is they're amazing. They're just absolutely amazing.
What is a watercolor pencil? I never heard of that.
You put water on You put water on the. You don't use a brush, but you put water on the canvas that or whatever surface that you're creating art on. And just draw on it with the pencil, and it creates a watercolor.
Oh, no way!
Yes, amazing. Yeah. This is absolutely amazing. And I used it for the first time with Lauren Teal of the Art Table, who, by the way, is giving a free bi-monthly Veterans Art workshop, and that's going to be starting next Wednesday in her new space. But I want to go through this. This is amazing. I was so amazed by it. And here are some pastels as well. You got watercolor pencils, oil pastels, a beautiful sticker, some pencils. There's even a brush. You even have a brush in here. This is just really super, super cool. And this Creative Arts for Vets book is something for everybody. And like you said, Todd, it has military jargon in here, so we understand that and we feel a little bit of camaraderie. But the immediate thing is it addresses suicide, the elephant in the room, and then goes on to talk about your mission. And there's something in here for everybody, absolutely everybody. So here's the book. Let me get that held up right. There we go. And as you go in, you start with basic training. See if I can get that held up right.
There we go. To read that.
You can't read that. No, you can't. We can't get zoomed in. Maybe Todd,
Connie,
do you want to? Would you go through the book for us? Actually, that would be even better.
So Connie, with basic training, let's see if I can pull it up real quick. Welcome to basic training. We have some maps and overlays, right? So I think there's a level of familiarity with that as well, and just the book feels comfortable, and it's the size of, different branches probably have different books, but we always had, like in the Army, these like lime green military leader books. They're like 5x8s.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Oh yeah, we talked the Green Bible. That I still have my Green Bible. Yeah.
Always carry that in your pocket.
It's a lot thicker than this, but
This is the same size.
Yeah.
Coincidence? No. Right? Yeah. And so we designed it to be very almost about the thickness of and the exact same size. You could fit it in your cargo pocket, right? And not that you're wearing BDUs or ACUs anymore or whatever, but it was that size of notebook that we all carried. Right. And so that's why I wanted something very portable, very familiar. So even we were very thoughtful and intentional about a lot of the design and layout of the book. But one of the things that, Connie, you were just mentioning about, hey, welcome to basic training. As soon as you open that chapter, the first thing is, hey, you're going to test fire. Instead of test firing your weapon systems, you're going to test fire your art making, your mediums. And we have some silhouettes, like it would be at a range, shooting down silhouettes or neutralizing targets. And so instead of like shooting bullets, you're going to use your art mediums on these targets to kind of get some familiarity with it. And we have various different, maybe I'll just talk about a couple of different, we also have a lot of different artwork in the book that we want you to kind of look at and, to do some journaling and to think about art, maybe what comes to mind when you see it, or what do you see, or what are you wondering, or what questions do you have about this artwork, right? It's all about thinking through things. And we do various different things. Mandalas, we do a lot of those. We have a lot of designs. Mandalas are usually symmetrical or circular in shape, and it has to do with one's journey in life. coloring it, decorating it in different ways based on certain feelings, or looking at past, present, or future. We also have opportunities just to scribble the hell out of pages, right? To maybe help draw some angst or some consternation out, or some things that you have, been holding for a while, to maybe try to release. And we even cover like wheels of emotion. We have various different colors on a palette with various different, optimism or serenity or surprise or grief or loathing or anger, and kind of walk through all those types of emotions, and then have you create your own emotional wheel. We also do body check-ins, and we think this is really important. We have a silhouette of a body and ask you to, kind of use your art mediums to kind of express how you're feeling. Are there certain parts of your body, right? Maybe muscular, skeletal wise, or mentally, that you're dealing with, right? And we think body check-ins are really good, to the point where in the back of the book we have a lot of repeat exercises, because you might like them and might want to do them again. And so we have a lot of those. We also have opportunities to, song drawing. Put on a song you really like or that you connect with, and then use art medium as you're listening to that song. We think is really, really important.
And Todd, don't mean to interrupt you here.
That's it.
What I really noticed. Thank you for bringing us through that. This is really an awesome book. There's a safe place. So there's a note in here in the beginning. I mean, this is all at our pace. This is our life, and we're in charge of our lives, and no one can tell us there's any right or wrong in how we go through this process with this book and all these wonderful ways to make art that comes in this beautiful kit. But there's a note in here. It says, if any pages in this book become too overwhelming, revisit this page. This is a blank page. And it says you can always return to add details, decorations, and people. This is your space. Creating this space within the book provides a safe point to ease anxiety and ground your mind. Sometimes making art can dig up some memories of emotions that we may not be ready to deal with yet for whatever reason. And this is designed to establish a safe place. And this is just to get back to what Donna was saying. We may not want to do this with other people, right? The important thing is to get into touch with something that eases your anxiety. And if it means taking this book into your own home or your own space or own anywhere, if you're lucky enough to have a home, that is, that's great. And reaching the rural areas, I imagine, has been a challenge in many ways, not only with services, disability service officers, but just in general with transportation, that type of thing. So that's wonderful that you actually ship this everywhere for us. But I do want to, before we say goodbye at the end of the show, if you can share direct donation links so that you can get donations to keep this wonderful program going. I did notice, though, that you are a System for Award Management, SAM.gov certified provider through the VA, VA vendor. So that's wonderful. But I want to say that the reason, real quick, and then we'll open up the phone lines here. I don't know if we have any callers to take questions for you, Todd, but the reason I even ordered these books is because we were going to do a women's pampering event. Remember I told you about that?
Yeah.
Yes, and Donna was not able to make it. Actually, we rescheduled that, and we never used these kits for that. That's going to be rescheduled soon. I am so excited to be using these kits. We're going to have that here in Northwest Indiana actually in a couple of months, and I'm so excited to share this with. Yes, but I just can't I can't believe that this is even available, and it kind of drives home late to the better late. I'm late to the dance, but it's better late than never, right?
Hey, Connie, can I mention one more thing real quick? So I just want to tell a quick vignette or a quick story about, I hear a tremendous feedback from the book, and I'm so thrilled about it. We've even had people say that it has saved their life. And that's overwhelming even to hear. And I am thrilled that we're able, even in some small capacity, to help veterans. I'm blessed to be a part of this program. But I will say a veteran reached out a while ago and ordered one of these books. And his friend then did. And he later wrote me an email a few months later, and he said, "Hey, I want to really thank you for the book." And the reason being is I had a really rough time in Iraq, is what he told me, and that some terrible things happened. And he really wanted to talk to his buddy who served there as well, but he didn't know how to kind of broach the subject. And he said it was the Cav book that enabled me to do that. And the reason for it is, he said, I would meet my buddy every 4 to 6 weeks for coffee, and we would catch up. And they lived fairly close to one another, but had different jobs. They were both in the civilian sector. And he said he could blame it on the Cav book to start a conversation with his buddy about moral injury. And instead of just like meeting for coffee and get into a deep dive about invisible wounds that somebody has, he said, I used your platform of the Cav book because we both have the Cav book. And I started asking, oh, did you read this or did you read that? And we got to the conversation and the subject of moral injury, and we're able to have a really deep conversation that he really needed, but he didn't know how to start that conversation. And I just find that, just amazing.
Wow.
Just amazing.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Because those hard conversations, because they bring up such trauma and such feelings that you don't know how to, nobody teaches veterans how to process that stuff.
That's exactly right. I think you're right. We're good on the front end. Hey, let's kill or shape to kill.
Yeah.
Right. Our two primary tasks in the military. But then on the back end, hey, mental health is a weakness. Just drink it off. Okay. Thank you for your service.
Suck it up.
Suck it up, right?
Yeah.
Drive on.
Yeah.
And good luck to you.
Yeah.
And that's really sad. And so maybe in some way the Cav book can help a little bit. So
and I think we do a huge disservice to veterans, because when you're discharged, you're just discharged. They don't tell you what is available to help you with whatever you need, whether it's the VA, whether it's volunteer service or anything out there. They don't give you those tools you need to cope with what you just went through. And I think we do a huge disservice to our veterans that way. And if Connie hadn't have brought up this program, I mean, I myself never would have heard of it, as I'm sure a lot of our listeners are hearing about this for the first time.
And again, I have to thank Post 16 member James Revogel. He told me about this, and I better late than never. I'm going to share this right far and wide. And do we have a caller, Kemper? Looks like we might. I wanted to also thank the rest of the contributors to the CAV program. You had mentioned Todd Lauren. Is it Doherty or Doherty?
It's Doherty.
Doherty. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
and then John. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was just going to read their names again, if that's okay. So
sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
Lauren Doherty. She's an art therapist. Works for Indiana University. John Kiesler, associate professor, social work, Indiana University. And now they are both graduated. Brooke Newbaum, who's an art therapist, and Irina Watkins, who's a therapist and has her master's in social work. And lastly, besides me, Jenny Waters, who works again for Indiana University's Center for Rural Engagement. She's our media specialist, graphic designer, and she designed the logo, which is badass. So it just did a wonderful job with the symbology and the layout of the book. And we are all everybody I just mentioned is all connected to the military. I'm the only veteran, but all of them come from families who someone in their family had served. And so I think that, they had a lot of passion about putting this together for, just lived experience with somebody who had served.
Yes, and I'm looking, we have a caller. Hold on, Carrie. We'll get you in just a few seconds. I'm reading their bios here in the book. Everybody go to the back of the book once you get this and look at the contributors. Everybody has a connection. We're all connected. Every single one of us. We don't have to wear the uniform to serve our communities. But we have a caller now. Carrie Jacobs, the co-founder of 22 Too Many organization, is on the line with us because after this radio show, we will be recording a podcast with Carrie and Rosie Gagnon, who, as we know, we've had Rosie on the show before. Rosie is a Gold Star mother whose son, United States Marine Corps PFC James Dexter Morris, took his life several years ago. And I carry Dex on my back as part of 22 Too Many with a couple of other Marine heroes. And Rosie's going to be interviewed. She is doing 100-mile races, foot races, in honor of her son and to raise awareness and bring us together with prevention and postvention suicide, activities, prevention, basically. And Carrie, how are you this
Hi.
morning? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I wanted to say, when I listened to Todd speaking, I'm like, I think I have one of these kits.
Ah.
And sure enough, I ran up to my office, and we have 20 too many. We have a volunteer.
Kemper,
named
can you put
Sierra
the volume up a little on Carrie? We can't hear her very well.
Okay.
No? Okay. Go ahead.
Can you hear
Carrie,
me better?
yeah, we hardly can hear you. Can you maybe can you increase the volume on your phone maybe?
I'm all the way up.
You're all the way up. Okay, go ahead.
I can share.
Okay.
One of our volunteers, Sierra, she lost her dad to suicide. He served in the Army. And she found these books, these kits, the CAV kits. And the more Todd talked about it, the more I thought, I have some of these. And we've been sending them to families who are grieving, who have lost military to suicide.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Zip.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you, Carrie, so much. I appreciate what you do. 22 too many, and I'm thrilled that some of your folks you're sending them out the CAV books because it's a resource that maybe can help. So thank you.
Right, they're wonderful. I mean, it's just amazing resource, like you said. So,
And where are you located, Carrie?
Silver Spring, Maryland, just outside of D.C.
Okay.
Oh, okay, nice.
Oh, very cool. No, that's awesome.
That's wonderful.
So before we end, because I know we're getting close, I forgot to mention this earlier. I apologize.
And do we have do we have one more caller? We do. Hold that thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah. Go. Let's hold on for a second. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Steve. Stay on the line, Carrie. We'll get to the other caller later. Go ahead,
I
Steve.
was just gonna. The DAV's having a seminar this Sunday at the St. John Township Center, 1515 West Lincoln Highway.
Okay.
It starts at 11, and then they're gonna be doing claims. John Rodriguez will be there. Robert will be there. So if anybody needs help,
Are you okay? You look like you're just not feeling well.
Oh yeah,
your eyes shut.
Yeah, my
almost.
eyes killing me.
Oh goodness.
That's okay. But
Thanks
I
for showing
wanted
up
to
for the show. Gosh.
Yeah. But I wanted to throw it out. I just want to make sure I throw that out
Okay.
there. So I apologize.
No,
Yeah.
no worries. No worries. That's an important announcement. So Carrie, I am just amazed that you just have this book, and I'm not really surprised. But are you there?
Yep.
Did she say goodbye? Are you there, Carrie?
No.
Looks like we lost her. Let's go ahead and take that second caller. Good morning. You're on Veterans Views.
Good morning. I was wondering if I could get some information on the group 22.
Oh, you want information on the what? Say that one more time.
22 too many?
It's a group 22 out of Lake County,
Yeah.
Indiana.
I'm having the hardest time hearing the callers, Kemper.
Is it something about Group 22?
22
Yeah.
too many, I think. Is
I
what
was
we
wondering if I
There
could
we
get
go.
a phone number.
Okay, you want a phone number
Yes,
for them?
yes. So how you can
Yeah.
get in hold? Yeah, we were going to actually before we lost Carrie, we were going to give the contact information how to get involved with 22 too many. Simply go to 22. That's 22. The numerals, not written out in words. 22. 222 TOO many MANY.org. You got that? So it's the numeral 22 and then the word spelled out 2 TOO many MANY.org. Now, if you go over to that website, sir, you'll be able to just navigate to contacting Carrie Jacobs, the co-founder, and getting involved. And if you're interested in, may I ask? You don't have to answer this. Do you know someone who has who has taken their life and needs a little assistance, or do you want to honor someone who lost their life to the war within?
So we're having a veterans event and would like them to come and put up a display
Okay.
and let the people know what they are offering.
Sure. We'll get you in touch with Carrie. We lost her, unfortunately, and I have her phone number, but do go to 22, the number 22, the word TOO, and then MANY.org. That's the website. And send Carrie a message from there. And if you
Okay.
wanted to, you can, why don't you email me at veteransviewscontributor@gmail.com, your name, your contact information. I'll put you in direct contact with Carrie. You want to do that?
What was it, Veterans Views?
Veterans, plural, Veterans Views Contributor @gmail.com.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're very welcome, sir. You have are you a veteran yourself?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and what is your first name?
Larry.
Larry, thank you for your selfless service to our enduring freedom. Just shoot us an email, veteransviewscontributor@gmail.com, and we will hook you up with Carrie Jacobs.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Have a wonderful day. And do we have any more callers? One more caller. Okay. Good morning. You're on WJOB Veterans Views. Go ahead, caller.
Well, this is Carrie again. I didn't mean to hang up.
No worries.
was
That
somebody
happens
else.
sometimes. There was actually, I don't know if you were listening to the show, a gentleman named Larry who's going to email me.
Okay.
He would like to connect with you. To have a presence of 22 too many at an event. So he's going to email.
Okay, great.
Yes, that is absolutely great. I told him to go to 22toomany.org and email me at veteransviewscontributor at gmail.com, and we'll get you hooked up with Larry. Okay? Larry.
Okay.
All right, and thank you for calling, and we can't wait to interview you and Rosie on the podcast after the radio show. So just hang tight there, and God bless you. Thank you for all you're doing. And for those who don't know, Carrie's son, your son is a Marine, correct?
No, he was in the Air Force.
Excuse me, the Air
He
Force.
was-
Okay.
He's
All
an
right.
Air Force veteran.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling. Hang tight, and we'll be recording the podcast soon with Rosie.
Okay, great.
All right. Thank you so much, Carrie. Any more
Thank you.
callers? No. And we're out of time. I want to thank Todd. Todd, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sorry that we.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wish we had more time. We had if we had another couple hours to talk with you, that would be
Yeah.
wonderful. So
No,
yeah.
I just really appreciate it.
Oh.
Thank you so much, team. This is wonderful. I appreciate what you guys do, and I really appreciate the opportunity to hang out with you guys and talk a little bit about the CAV book.
Yes. And the CAV book, all you got to do, Google CAV book. That'll take you
That's
right
it.
to how you can get it. Order some and donate. Can you donate also from that website?
You can scroll down on the website. It's about halfway down. I also dropped the link in the chat here in Zoom. I don't
Excellent.
know, Connie, you can use that or not.
Yes.
But yeah, on the website, real quick, you can just, it says order your free book now. You can click on that and fill out the form. You can scroll down. It talks a little bit about the in-person stuff we do. And if you're interested, you can always contact us to host an event. And if you scroll further down, you can donate. Scroll further down to the bottom, you can see the list of people who work on the CAV team. There's probably about 10 or 12 of us or so that do various things, and everybody's picture and their profile is on the website as well.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Todd Burkhart.
Thank you.
Yes, we hope to
Hey.
have you back on the show. I'll keep you updated on using these 10 kits that I got for the Women's Pampering Day, and we'll have some of the women on the show to talk about it.
Awesome.
all right.
Well, thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank
God
you.
bless.
Thank you.
Take care.
And, hey, thank you
Yes.
for your service. Really appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right. Take care.
All right.
God
Closing.
bless. Bye.
We got 1 minute. Closing thoughts.
Reach out if you need help to anybody, even if it's somebody who's not in the military. We all need help from time to time, so
Yes.
do those.
Steve?
Call your buddy.
Let's see. John Rodriguez will be in Valpo tonight for doing claims. Sunday he'll be at St. John Township. And then I wanted to highlight July 27th, 1953 was the end of the Korean War.
Yes, we didn't get to any of what happened on today. Announcements, and we had a lot more announcements. We're not going to have time to make, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, it was
we'll
a good
announce
show.
them.
He had some good info.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And we'll make the announcements next Friday because these are announcements for things that are coming up in a couple weeks. So, everybody, have a wonderful day. We'll see you next week on Veterans Views radio show. And this is the United States of America. Let's go out and be great and be kind and, no matter who. And let's make it even greater every single day. All right. See you next week. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Hoorah.
Hoorah.
Hoorah. Good night, Chesty, wherever you are.